Let's take all of this on with Hashem Ahelbarra, who's covered the region, of course, extensively. Welcome, Hashem. We'll talk about the government troops in a second. But firstly, the STC have said that this is a genuine opportunity for serious discussion, which actually isn't saying very much, is it, other than a willingness to talk. So what do you think we could expect from this?
Well, I think the STC realized that it's the beginning of the end. And they saw their troops completely routed in different parts, particularly in Hadramout and al-Mahra. And you know, with the backing that Saudi Arabia has for the internationally recognized government, STC was left with two options: to fight until the end, but with the cover that the Saudis are providing. They knew that it was going to be just a matter of a few days before they will lose this fight, or go to Riyadh for these talks. The thing is that most of the Arab countries, international community, gave their backing for the Saudi-led initiative to start talks between the Yemeni factions in Riyadh. And ultimately, it is going to be an outcome which is going to be shaped by Saudi Arabia. So they understood that this was the message, and they decided that this is the end.
So we have these pictures of government troops in Mukalla. Tell us about the importance. It's a key eastern port, isn't it? The importance of this in the context of everything that's been happening.
It is, and the province itself is a vast province in southern Yemen, neighboring Saudi Arabia. And I think this is where this was the biggest mistake by the STC forces backed by the United Arab Emirates. They decided overnight to take over al-Mahra and Hadramout, which, if it happened, it would mean, practically speaking, that southern Yemen has become under the control of the separatists, who could move forward to declare an independent state or reinstate the Southern Democratic Republic of Yemen that existed until 1990, except that the Saudis consider those provinces part of their national security. Without consulting with the Saudi Arabia, that was a massive, massive miscalculation by the STC, and this is why the Saudis decided to interfere. And the way they interfered is by providing significant support to the internationally recognized government of Rashad al-Alimi and using their own leverage to convince even those sympathetic to the South to understand that they have to switch camp and join the Saudis in the new initiative, which is remarkably happening within 48 hours.
Right. The complexities of this are many, aren't they, to say the least. How dangerous a time is this with the rival forces seeking to reshape the ground, the territory?
You know, Nick, until a few years ago, the Americans' biggest concern was Yemen disintegrating and Yemen taken over by ISIL and al-Qaeda. I've covered most of Yemen, including parts where the army was fighting a brutal war against al-Qaeda, which was the biggest al-Qaeda affiliate globally based in Yemen. The concern now is you have a north which is controlled by the Houthis. You have the secessionists we are losing ground, and you have the international government, which initially was meant to be based in Sana'a, lost ground, moved into exile, is backed by the Saudis, is positioned in the south, but does not really have huge control over the people who tend to be pro-separatists. So you have to have someone to convince all these factions to agree on a new constitution and what they want to achieve. Do they want to be united as one Yemen or two Yemens in the future? It will have to be a call that the Saudis will have to look after. But I think given the huge political financial leverage that Saudi Arabia has in the region, they will have strong chances to convince all the parties on the need for an immediate solution that would prevent from a descent into anarchy.
All right, we've got these talks coming up. Maybe there's a glimmer of light there. Hashem, thanks very much indeed.
Don't miss out on the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.